Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. Tonight I'm going to show you real quick how I make my very easy yogurt parfaits. Now I'm doing a two-part breakfast as I have explained already, but both parts of the breakfast are in mason jars. I thought it would be nice and easy just to be able to get it done early. These are being made on Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and they're completely easy and beautiful and delicious, and you can switch up whatever fruit you want, whatever berries you see, strawberries, peaches even. You can pick out whatever granola that you like best. These are so simple and only a few ingredients. So let's get started. So I just got all the lids off, and I'm running some very hot water. I have this mat in, and look at my sleeves, they're so dirty. I'm going to go put on a short sleeve shirt here in just a second. I've been in the kitchen, and that's where I'm cleaning out the fridge right there. But this will keep, the glasses from hitting hard on the bottom. Just going to use some of my Mrs. Meyer's geranium dish soap. A couple healthy squirts. I'll start sitting these in. Lids too. The water is really hot. I'm gonna let them sit there for a minute. I'm gonna put up those dishes, change my shirt so my sleeves don't get more dirty or wet. If they're long, it's just cold here. So I'm gonna let them soak for a few minutes. And come back, wash them out, dry them out, and start working on the little parfaits. And these are, what size? These are 4-ounce jelly jars. There's 2 left here. Be sure to give your fruit a good rinse. Let those drain. So let's get started. What I'm doing for one of the options on Thanksgiving morning, because we're going to have guests sleeping over, they're going to be here Wednesday night, tomorrow night, is one of the options, both options are going to be in mason jars, which is just a cute idea. I love mason jars, I always have a whole bunch anyway, and they're such great items to use in the kitchen. So I wanted a healthy option with the eggs that I'm making in mason jars, and it's more like a bake with croissants and eggs and bacon and cheese, all that good stuff. But I still wanted something healthy, so I decided to go with yogurt parfaits. They fit perfect. It's the perfect size. And let me show you what I'm using. So I'm using some of the Kabani all natural Greek yogurt, the vanilla blend right there. I'm also using some pure honey. This is the wildflower one by Gunter's. Love this one, it's good. I'm also using some Back to Nature apple blueberry granola, and it's clusters of whole grain rolled oats with sweet apples and wild blueberries. I just put it in one of these disposable pans so I could really grab some of the fruit, and I will put it back in the bag, whatever we don't use. And I'm also using some fresh blueberries that I've rinsed. So let me show you how I do this. Super simple. Just grab your yogurt. I'm using a small ice cream scoop. You could use a spoon. I just find that this works super easy to be able to get it in the jar. So just a couple scoops, 2 works great. And then shake it out, get it even. Grab some of that granola. You could use any granola of your choice. There's so many different ones. I just like this one, and I've had it before, so that's why I picked it. It's got little pieces of dried apple and little pieces of blueberry. So just get it in, kind of pat it in the best you can. Another scoop of yogurt on top. Actually, 2 scoops. Add a little bit more. Press it down. Just like that. Add some blueberries to the top. You can press those too. It's not going to hurt anything. Just like that. And then I'm just going to drizzle some honey over it. Now you could do this right before you serve them. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave the lids on or just take them off. And if I take them off, I'll add probably a little more honey. But I like the idea of the honey being on for a little while. It will seep down in. And then you'll put your lid on and store those in the refrigerator. They're going to be delicious. So let's move on to the next ones. Here we go. I think I'm just going to do one so we can see that pretty granola. So just a scoop in the bottoms. Remember to kind of shimmy them around to get that spread out. Add some granola right inside. You could do this for a crowd so easy because you can make them ahead, which is wonderful. My husband loves these, so that's one of the reasons I'm making them. More yogurt. Just one scoop. Yeah, one scoop works better. One scoop. One scoop. Shimmy it. More granola, and then your blueberries and honey. Okay, these are so cute. I love them. Perfect serving size too, especially if you're going to eat the other breakfast too. Okay, there we go. How cute. Cute is that? And let's not forget the honey. Again, if you don't like honey, don't use it. If you don't like it, but I like something to sweeten it up just a little bit. And again, I might take the lids off and put these out on a tray, which is something I'm considering. And then I'll probably add just a little more honey just to make them extra yummy. Okay. See how fast they go? Quick. So I'm going to go through and do it again. One scoop. Come on, scoop. I'm not so sure my sister-in-law likes yogurt. But if there's any extras, they last for at least a week in the fridge. So we can finish them up ourselves. Or if Brandon or his friend likes them, then they can grab one and take one on the road with them too. Alright. Some of that delicious granola and put it right on top. It's hard to do without dropping it and making a mess, but whatever. I'll be cleaning up tomorrow. And this is really healthy. Of course, you could make your own granola too. And that's even more healthier. Another scoop. Another scoop. Another scoop. Okay. And one more here. I think that one needs a little bit more. I'm going to add a little more to the ones I think need it. Might as well fill them up. These are super easy and super cute. So, just a little bit. It looks kind of pretty when it falls in its own way, but I still like to even it out just a little bit because we are putting a lid on it. Okay. The blueberries will be fine sitting on top of that granola and that honey. They won't go bad. They'll be perfect. We've made these many times to take on the boat with us, to take camping. They're perfect, and you can make them ahead, and honestly, when that's all you offer for breakfast, be surprised at how many people will eat them. And that's what I do with the kids when I go a lot of times, because I don't want to give them too many options. I don't want to be cooking 4 or 5 different things, or trying to pack and bring 4 or 5 different things. So I give them 1 or 2 options, and that's it. Okay. I'm gonna add some more blueberries to this one, and this one, and that one. Okay, we're almost done. See how quick that is? Just put down the blueberries. I'm done. I'm out of blueberries now, and I'm gonna drizzle some honey over them. Here we go. I love my little honey drizzler. I love them. They're so handy. And the yogurt does have some sugar in it. It's not a ton, but there's still some sugar in it, so it's not, you know, going to be too plain. There we go. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Now we're just going to put on our lids. So the last step is just grabbing your lid and screwing it on tight. Super easy. Super, super easy. Remember that, you know, when you're cooking for yourself or even for others, it's important to maintain a cleanliness that you keep while you're making the food, that your hands are always clean, that your hair is pulled back, no animals in the kitchen. You know, you just don't want to take chances, especially when you're feeding other people, which, you know, can cause problems if you don't maintain a clean kitchen. So cute. I love these. I don't need to label them because I know just one size. The size is one part of dessert, and the other size jars are the other part of the dessert, and I'll make those tomorrow. Get on there, lid. Let me know if you guys use mason jars to cook with. I'd love to know. So there we go. That is part 1 of our Thanksgiving breakfast done. And I'm just going to stack them up neatly in the refrigerator and wait for the big day. It's just around the corner. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Hope that it gave you some ideas on what you could put in the jars. You could also use any kind of fruit that you want. You don't have to just use blueberries. You could use strawberries, peaches, whatever is in season that looks good. I just thought that the blueberries looked amazing. And I'm happy this part of my job is done. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Check out my blog at kjaggers.com for more pictures and information. And I will see you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye. Yay, I just filmed my video showing how to make these delicious yogurt parfaits in these very small mason jars. Adorable, aren't they? Now, I'm only serving 7, but I made 10 just because I know my husband loves these. And they're super easy to make. And that video should be up probably by the time this is up. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But it will be up very soon if it's not already up on my other channel. So be sure to check it out. The link is below. And by the way, you don't just have to make these for Thanksgiving or a holiday. These are perfect to make at the beginning of any week. And you can have them ready to go. Just grab one. You can take it to the office. You can take it on the run with you. You can eat it right at home. It doesn't matter. They're just easy to prepare. Just invest in some very small mason jars and you will be good to go. Super easy. And very good for a busy weekday morning. Okay, now we're moving on into the pumpkin pies. I'm doing all this on Tuesday. So I'm going to make 2 pumpkin pies. I was only going to make one, but I want to thank somebody, so I'm going to make them one. My pumpkin pie is pretty standard. I brought down the KitchenAid. I do think I'm going to store it in that bottom cabinet that I like using for items I don't use all the time. It was hard getting it down from the pantry. So I'm going to double it, and that's why I'm using the KitchenAid, because it's big and it can handle a double. But you can certainly use your hand mixer, and you can use a whisk if that's all you have. It doesn't matter. So what you need for 1 pumpkin pie, I have stuff for doubles, is either some pumpkin puree that you made yourself, that you baked your pumpkin and pulled out the puree, or some can. Can is perfect. This is Libby's, and you're just going to need 1 can. You're also going to need 1 can of evaporated milk. You're going to need 3/4 of a cup of white sugar. You're going to need a teaspoon of, well, I'm going to use a tablespoon of pumpkin spice. Kind of has all the different spices, but I do add a 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger and a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. You're going to need 2 eggs and a pinch of salt. You're also going to need whatever pie crust. So if you have your own, fine, use that. I, on the other hand, used up my pie crust not too long ago, so I'm using store-bought. Now, I'm going to be rolling it out because it never fits the pie pans right, so I always roll it out. I'm kind of letting it soften just a little bit. I've got some extra flour out that I'm going to use to put down right here. And I'm going to use, like 1 for 1 pie, 1 for the other. And then I'm going to cut out some really cute leaves and acorns and put around the outside just to make it look even prettier. So the first thing I'm going to do is start cutting out the leaves and acorns. So those are ready. So I'm going to set the camera up and you can watch if you like. Okay, so I've dusted some flour. You can use all-purpose flour, and you can use whatever board you want. I'm just using my counter. It's super clean. And I'm going to take my pre-made pie crust straight out. If I can get it open. This is just to make it look pretty. You don't have to do this, but I don't know. I just like to do it. It's not hard, and it just makes your pie look so much prettier. Come on, come out. I guess I need to get the scissors. There we go. You're going to want your oven set at 425 degrees for the pumpkin pies. So all you're going to do is roll it out. It's already pretty thin and, of the right consistency, but I like to roll it out a little bit more, so I flip it, get a little little flour dusted on it, and then I take my rolling pin. I'm just using my French rolling pin right here, and dust it with a little more flour, and I'm going to just roll it out a little bit better, which I think a lot of people fail to do whenever they're using a pre-made pie crust. They just assume that it's the right shape and size, but sometimes you just need to roll it out a little more. And now, what I like to personally do is have my pie pan sitting close, and let's start with acorns. So I'm going to punch out a whole bunch of acorns, and I'm just going to lay them kind of around it, so I know how many I'm going to need, just like that. I'm just going to keep going around. Be creative on how you use your dough so you get the most out of it that you can. So they're going to kind of overlap, and I'm just going to take them around. Let's start putting them on the inside. Just punch out a whole bunch. You can find these little cookie cutters anywhere. I know it's going to take a bunch, so that's why I'm not going to keep measuring. I've done this before. Quite a few times, actually. Just keep punching them out. You're going to want them for the sides. Okay. That should be more than enough acorns. So let me move them out, and I'm going to move this, dust some more flour, and get my next pie dough, pie crust out, and roll it out just a little bit more so I can get it in one of the pies. I'll do one pie at a time. Even though I'm going to make the mixture for both, I'm just going to do half. I'll pour half in it, and then we'll move on to making the pretty leaves. All right, I'm just going to lay that there for half a second. Pick up my leaves, just going to stack them up. They are my acorns, excuse me. And I'll probably score these just a little bit too, just to make them look a little more real and pretty. I think Thanksgiving is so much nicer than Christmas because Thanksgiving is more geared towards being thankful and having a big like harvest dinner with the family and your friends, or maybe just with your husband or your kids. It doesn't matter, just with the important people in your life that you can get with. Can't always get with everybody every holiday, especially when you're spread out like our family. But it's nice to cook for the people you love. I know I'm not using my own pie crust, but I'm doing different things to it to make it more mine, such as these little acorns and leaves. I promise it'll be pretty. Okay. All right, we'll take that leftover dough and just move it right over here. Let's move our acorns and roll out the next pie crust. And then we'll start making the filling. Right over. And roll it out a little bit. Okay, here we go. You just want it to fit your pie plate. You can also use a pre-made one if you don't even want to go and do this step. There's pre-made ones that you can get that will work perfect. There's my oven telling me it's ready. Okay. Now bring your pie plate over. I take half like that, flop it in, up into the middle, and out on the sides. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So just get it in there. You want to push it up. It's okay if it ruffles like that to fit. Now you could always crimp the edges, which is just two fingers and one finger, just like that, and it crimps. I'm not going to do that just because I'm putting the acorns around. Okay. And then I will take my pastry cutter, which is right here. And I'm just going to kind of go around and get off all that excess. Put it in that pile. You can use a knife. You don't have to have a pastry cutter at all. This is great for ravioli too, though. Quiet in the house tonight. Scott's still at work. It's like 7:30. Press it down again, and let's move on to our pumpkin pie filling. Okay, so we're going to get started. We're basically just going to mix everything I just told you. So we're going to take our pumpkin, and we're just going to add that to the mixer. Sure, scrape it all out of there. Fresh pumpkin is nice, but I don't like the time that it takes to make it. So canned pumpkin is so convenient. And the next can, remember I'm doing 2, so I'm going to mix it all up together. Try to put some on this side. Okay. That thing always falls off on me. I make so much pasta that that thing always comes off. So we'll just move that out of the way. Alright. And then we'll add our evaporated milk. Only 1 can if you're only making 1 pie. Next can. Then we'll add 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Well, that's for 1. I'm going to have to double that. Only got my 1/4 measuring cup out. So that would be all for the first one. And this is for the second pie. Okay. And then you're going to add 2 eggs per pie. So you should crack them in a bowl first, but I'm not. I know these are fresh. I just bought them. Okay. Now you're going to add about a teaspoon of salt, and I just got salt in this pretty teacup because I know I'm going to be using a lot of it over the next couple days. About a teaspoon and a half, actually. I've made this for so many years. Sometimes I add ground cloves. I can make this in my sleep. So I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. It's a small little container, and it goes. I'm going to add about a half of that in ground ginger this time, and it goes. And then I'm going to add about the same, about a half teaspoon of cinnamon, but the pumpkin spice already has a lot of that in there, but we'll add some more. Okay, and we just got to mix it up. So I'll try to put the volume down, but I got pumpkin pie on the front. Didn't realize that, so we'll get it down. I'll try to put the volume down in the video, but here we go. Start out slow, so you don't splash it everywhere. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. And one thing I did forget to mention is I like to add just a dash of vanilla to it. I always have. Remember to stop your mixer, wipe down the sides just to make sure you get all that stuff incorporated really good. Alright. Turn it up a little bit now. We're just going to mix it for about 5 minutes. So I poured half of my pumpkin pie mixture in this pie dish in the pie crust. This is not baked. And then while it was mixing, I just took the time to score some of the little acorns. And all it is just taking your knife very gently through. Not all the way through, but along. And I'm just doing a crisscross pattern. And now I am going to take my little spatula, and I have 1 egg and some cream. And I'm going to start putting those around. That's going to act as my glue. So we're just going to put that. I'm just going to take some of the heavy cream right along the edge. Brush it on. And then start laying the acorns on the crust. Press down just a little bit. And work your way around. So I got some glue, and I'm just going to take a little more. I call it glue. Take a little more, put it on the bottom, and connect it to the one up top. And go on to the next one. It'll only take a second to do this. It won't even take long. Make it look pretty. Go ahead and brush some of that crust. Lay your acorns on, or whatever you're using. If you're putting something around it. I dropped that entire one, but that's okay because we're going to put more. Actually, is it the wrong way? Yes. We're going to put more egg wash right on top of all of these to make it really pretty. Once this is done, I will start the other one. Roll out the dough, do the leaves, and they will both go in the oven at the same time. You're going to cook your pumpkin pies at 425 for 15 minutes, and then you're going to pull back the heat to 350 whenever to finish it off for about 40 minutes. You just have to check. If your knife comes out clean out of the middle, then it's done. I can always check by jiggling it. That's going to look so pretty. And it's just a very small little detail to add. Oop, dropped that entire one, but that's okay. And if a little of that egg wash gets into your pie, you can just take a fork and kind of mix it in. You'll never know. It's got the same thing in it. Egg and milk. This is egg and heavy cream, actually, but that's okay. Need a little more on that one. Right there. Almost done. And we'll do the leaves. Okay, one more it looks like. Maybe two more. But really, one. Okay. So the acorns all along the side, I like to make sure they're pushed up a little bit. So go back around. Make sure they're far enough in to really hold on. And I'm going to put this aside. And I'll work on my other one, and then I'll do the final basting of the egg wash right before we go in the oven. So I did the very exact same thing with this pumpkin pie. Now I just rolled out the leftover dough from the acorns, and I'm going to use my little pretty leaf, and we're going to see if we can get enough leaves out of just this and to go around. Let's see. Be creative about how you line them up to make the most out of the dough. My hands are so doughy tonight. I'm going to score these a little bit, just like I did the acorns. That one didn't come out, but that's okay. Remember, your home-baked pies don't have to look like something you would find at the grocery store. They can just look rustic and beautiful. They don't have to be perfect. Alright, I'm going to start moving these. Get them out. Just be easy and they'll come right up, especially if you got your surface dusted with some flour. Just moving the excess out of the way. So I got both of these done. I got the leaves around this one and I got acorns around this one. I'm going to take a little bit of the wash, which is cream and an egg, and go very easily around the edge. It's going to make it brown real pretty. Just around it goes. You don't need much. And if a little bit falls in your pie, that is completely okay. Now we'll move on over to the leaves. That's pretty, isn't it? I think that's beautiful. Just be careful and go around. This is going, like I said, into a 425 degree oven for 15 minutes, and then we'll turn the heat down to 350 for another 20-30 minutes. Time to go in the oven. So I am done in the kitchen tonight. I finished my yogurt parfaits and the cute little mason jars and my pumpkin pies. I will be giving this one to Scott's salesman, and this one is ours. I only cook one because we don't eat much pumpkin pie, but I'll layer it all up with a whole bunch of whipped cream right before dessert on Thanksgiving. I'm going to get these in the refrigerator or in the cooler in the garage, which is another great tip. If you don't have a lot of room, you can always use a clean cooler, cover everything up, and just sit it out in your garage, and it will be completely fine. That's how I brine my turkey sometimes. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video. As I said, there'll be more cooking and baking videos up momentarily. I mean, I'm going to be working tomorrow on more, so, which will probably be today when you're watching this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you've liked this video and not already, just take a second and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.